Dire team ban. Team Empire's turn to pick.
Bounty Hunter.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Faceless Void.
Nirana.
Team Empire's turn to pick.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Game 3 now of the Manila Major Qualifiers European Finals. This is, of course, Finem against Team Empire. I'm ODPixel. I am joined by a sideways Dad Draskell. How are you doing?
Apparently I'm sideways, so I'm not doing that great.
Yes.
But, you know, I just had the opportunity to watch a pretty good game of Dota, so I'm looking forward to some more of that delivered here by Finem and Empire.
Yep. Absolutely. And the draft is underway. Ourselves in and see what is going down in this showdown. So far, well, what's there to point out? Empire, they get themselves the Bounty Hunter again, and they do manage to follow it through with a Batrider pick. And of course, this could be Scandal or Afterlife. They're very, very flexible with the hero. Finem, on the other hand, they open up with a Faceless Void pickup and that Marana as well that we saw Thug have quite a game indeed on there in game 2. And ban-wise, well, Andy, just give me the lowdown. Anything that we should be kind of focusing on here with the ban-wise?
I mean, they're just kind of adapting game to game, I feel. Like, most of the bans coming out from Finem, I mean, they had the Select themselves last game, the Darkseer taken away, Afterlife played a pretty nice one in the second game in the series, but it's more just, they're kind of different deviations of the same ideas. So Finem, they get the Marana 2 games in a row this time. It could actually be safe lane Void, because that's something that Madara has been known to run in the past. Still pretty good up against like the Bounty Hunter, really hard to harass. Batrider is kind of 50-50 against it, but I think both teams still kind of picking the same kind of style. It's like we want to make sure that our lanes are pretty good. We're going to have the rotating Spartan Earth Spirit again, which proved to be pretty potent in game 2. And Empire, okay, this is like
this is a quick
super
drop.
speed picking.
Empire's turn to pick.
They want to get back in it after that last game. I mean, so what? King R on the Disruptor, yeah, again, we really did see him have a great time. And of course, just the way it worked with the Bounty as well. Not just from kind of in terms of setting up with the glimpse of the tracks, but the fact that Disruptor can do a hell of a lot with those big key items. If he gets the Ags and Refreshers, you know, 50 minutes in, it's absolutely devastating in these late game fights. And pretty much one of the reasons why, you know, they nearly were able to close up the game. You know, Empire we saw in that last engagement towards the middle. But of course, it didn't end up being enough as Madara just turned it around with the Slark and beat the hell out of them. But the Disruptor is very much a comfort pick for Empire and something that they can do a lot of work with. The Night Stalker though for Finem, that's an interesting one.
Well, it was actually banned last game, so
yeah.
Sometimes when you have a vision hero, like I think Finem had Beastmaster, I want to say they were the ones that actually banned it themselves. So when you have a hero that either relies on vision or grants vision, Night Stalker is like one of the best counter picks that you can get, because it just makes the initiation for the Batrider that much harder. I mean, sure, you have track, you have the Disruptor synergy as well. We saw that utilized quite a bit by Empire in the second game too. But I think that this is probably, on paper, it's like the best counter to Bat and Beastmaster, because it just negates what they offer you during the mid game, and it requires like no investment. Like, you don't have to worry about having a great laning phase just to hit your R button, you know what I mean? And it's just global presence, stops all the wards from giving you so much vision, etc, etc. So overall, it's pretty potent here. Looks like we're going to get a chance to see the Ramses safe lane Furion.
Yeah,
or, I mean, it still could be off lane, but
could be, because it could be Scandal back. This is the great thing about Empire when they pick heroes like this. You don't know for sure which way around they're going to put it.
It could be Ramses bat too, right?
It could. That's the thing. All three of the cores, they've got that kind of special trick up there up the sleeve where they can just switch around these heroes.
Yeah, so, I think it's most likely still going to be mid bat though, and safe lane Furion. From
I'd agree.
What I
mean,
they're thinking...
Finem don't think that though. They think it's going to be what? I mean, I guess they're worried about what Scandal playing the mid alc, or is that more a Ramses thing to do in the safe lane? I'm going to say that Empire haven't really done that much.
Yeah, the Alchemist I'm a little bit unsure of, because I don't know if Scandal I mean, I'm sure he can play it, but I don't
Yeah,
think
I
he
think-
has played it much.
I think actually, I think he has. I'm pretty sure I've got the top. I remember seeing a game where Scandal did pick up the.
Is it like one game that they had with the Alchemist?
I can't remember what it was, but I'm pretty sure at least in this qualifiers we've seen Scandal play the Alchemist mid. So
Okay.
I mean,
So at least one time they've done it.
yeah, and so that means they're thinking it's well, I guess again it could be Ramsey's bat, Afterlife Nature's Prophet, but at the same time probably more likely to be Afterlife bat, Ramsey's Nature's Prophet. But at the same time, the Bat Rider picks, I feel that more than often it has actually just been Scandal playing at the mid lane.
Yeah.
And
I
against
think,
the Mirana as well, I feel he thinks that's kind of a matchup that he can play well in.
yeah, for sure. I don't think that Mirana bat is really lopsided for one hero one way or the other. It's going to be a bit easier for him to avoid ganks if he plays the bat mid. I mean, we have seen Nature's Prophet mid in the past, but I think that's maybe a little bit too far-fetched. A lot easier for the Earth Spirit to rotate in on. You don't really have the Firefly to be able to get away. So, in that regard, I guess the last pick is going to solidify who's going to be playing what here on the side of Empire. I mean, it's going to be a core, no matter what, because you're either picking a mid hero, an off laner, or a safe laner. So it's going to be something that accumulates a decent level of farm.
Oh, taking their time here, Empire. Very, very important pick here, of course. The winner of this game are going to be then one game away from moving forward the Manila Major.
Watch him just pick Spectre again and just be like,
And
YOLO.
they could. They certainly could.
I mean, there's no Darkseer, so it's not like the off lane's going to be pressured super heavily. You already have Disruptor. You have Furion, who can also TP in for ganks if you want to put him in the offlane and put Ramses back on that hero.
I guess Ember Spirit might be punished a bit too hard by the Night Stalker and the Spirit silences. I mean, Ramses does like to play that as well. Works kind of nicely with the potential.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh,
okay, that's different.
This is good, and as I said, you know, this series is just going to get more and more exciting as it goes on. And there we have as well another pick that we're not seeing all the time. We have seen teams kind of flirt with Wyvern pick, but this is going to look to be what a safe lane void as you expected. It is going to be carry
after
void.
seeing the Night Stalker, I think it was pretty obvious that it would have been a safe lane void. Because no one really ever does safe lane Night Stalker. It's just not a thing.
I guess they could have done mid lane Night Stalker, but again, maybe not against the bat. Indeed, is going to be Scandal bat. But yeah, these final picks, what do you think? So the Ramses Medusa, and then in response to that, they pretty much straight away after him. They already had a plan. They'd go for that Wyvern.
The Wyvern is a bit strange to me. I'm guessing it's a little bit of an offbeat answer to bat. So you either want like Abaddon, who can dispel the lasso, Disruptor, which Team Empire themselves have taken away. Then you have LC, which they can't lane. I mean, I guess technically they could, but they needed a support unless they wanted to put the Night Stalker in a support capacity. So you want a hero that has some like instant disable, who also I guess has a decent amount of deep push because there's a Furion on the other team. So I guess your other option would be like a Rubik, but he's not really as strong in the deep push department as a Winter Wyvern. It's just a little bit different from what I was expecting in the pick.
All right, well, I'm very excited to see how this works out. Game 3 here, ladies and gentlemen. Empire versus Finem in the best of 5 grand finals of the EU qualifiers for the Manila Major. Let's get ourselves affirmed with the teams and just the courtesy of the players so we can highlight what they're going to be playing this game. On the side of Empire, it's going to be Afterlife on that offlane Nature's Prophet. Ramses, he's going to be manning up on the Medusa on his safe lane carry role. Scandal on his pretty much signature bat now. He plays this hero to absolute incredible levels of performance, so we can look forward to seeing some great stuff from him. And of course, not forgetting these two key supports, the big playmakers here for Empire, King R on this Disruptor, and Meposhka on that ever so favored bounty hunter by a lot of teams in this patch. Over on the side of Finem on the Earth Spirit, once again Spartan, we saw him have a brilliant opening to the game just now in game 2 and offered some huge potential towards the latter stages as well. He'll be on the Earth Spirit Spartan. Madara playing something a little bit different, this faceless void here on the safe lane, not something that we see all the time, but used to be big in the past. We'll see if he's able to keep it relevant now in this patch. Mirana is going to be on Thug once again, and finally your last two. Skylark on the Night Stalker, maybe next time on the Winter Wyvern, and already going in with the roll in. They're trying to make the kill happen onto Scandal. The arrow's actually going to get whiffed, but they might just still find the kill here. Verify comes out, but a secondary void, and the final touch there from Thug to bring him down. Meposhka looking for Skylark in return. They're going to them to strike out as well. The snake pounces are going to be going the way of the Night Stalker. Skylark going to continue to run. Meposhka's been rolled on upon again from Spartan. He has to back himself off, and it looks like Finem will get away cleanly with that one. Just a 1-0 trade, but Thug finding the first blood, and he's going to be incredibly happy with that. And of course, against, of all people, the opponent mid lane, taking down Scandal on his Bat Rider.
Yeah, it's gonna help him tremendously because it just means he can send out the stick right away. And I don't think he has the completed wand. Okay, no, he doesn't. But he's also going to be able to get himself a salve in addition to that. Looks like Skylark's going to be taking a quick way back to base. He did have to burn his salve because the Thunderstrike was going to kill him otherwise, and Spartan even getting the early D ward here in the off lane. So all things considered, add Finem off to a pretty strong start here. We'll just have to see what Afterlife can be done in this off lane.
They want to try and punish the Medusa, rolling straight in. It's some fantastic body blocking from Spartan. It's still just level 1 Medusa. The TP will come in from Miposhka, but... yeah, Medusa is certainly going to feel a lot of aggression, a lot of hate from this off-lane combination that Finem had positioned there.
Yeah, they're getting a decent amount of damage here on the Skylark. No glimpse though. Disruptor's not level 2, so he'll probably be fine.
With the Orb Venom,
oh, maybe not.
And, yeah. Deeping in a couple of touches, it will do it, and they're going to find it. Skylark turns around, but the Thunderstrike and the touches from Afterlife. They'll bring down the Night Stalker, and already, I mean, this is just classic Afterlife. He always looks for opportunities to get himself involved, and actually, he's just going to kill himself. He's going to kill himself. He loses 50 gold, but hey-ho, it's a quick way back to base, and a quick way to get himself back up onto that top lane.
Yeah, it's good stuff coming out so far from the rotations on the Nature's Prophet. And that's one thing you can always look to when you have this type of lineup, is there's so much mobility. Like, the Bounty Hunter is going to be running around everywhere trying to gather information. That sets up for the Furion to teleport in. So if you have like one hero there, and you know you're in mid, maybe it's Scandal, maybe it's Rams in the safe lane, you could potentially have like a +1 or +2 relatively fast. So it's just something that Ad Finem are always going to have to be very aware of as the lanes kind of play out, and that's good for them as well.
Bottom lane trying to go in on Ramses again, but Ramses, the help of the Disruptor will fend them back off. And Miposhka is actually going to come down here as well, maybe anticipating Finem to try and go for an aggressive play again, and see if they can turn around and punish it. Spartan having to make the long walk back to base hit. But Ramses, he should be able to keep a relatively good hold of the lane now. You know, a couple of points in Mystic Snake. Night Stalker's got to be very, very careful how close he comes to the creep web, because that snake hurts. A couple of bounces and you're taking huge chunks of the Night Stalker's health.
Oh, absolutely. That thing hits insanely hard. They buffed it a few times in a row, I think. Maybe it was like 2 or 3 patches. The Mystic Snake got a little bit better. But I think this is kind of what is expected out of Empire's lanes. They need to do very well. And during the mid game, you have to worry about Magnetize. There's a lot of AoE control between the Chronosphere and then Winter's Curse coming in from the Wyvern. And then we talked about the vision control already as Skylark, just having that darkness ready and available to use at a pretty early stage is okay.
Yep, Spartan comes in with his rotations. We saw him pulling this off in game 1, and game 2 is going to continue. Sets up a second kill for the side of Finem, and Thug now 2 kills here on the mid lane Mirana. He is looking to be very happy with that. Nope, I was just a roll in and a move in.
Yeah.
And they need it as well because Scandal is winning the CS game slightly in mid lane. He's got a lot of denies as well, 8 denies on the Batrider. So Scandal's certainly having the upper hand here. Miposhka coming through as well. The flame break to bring him back. He's still got the jump. But he will be fine getting himself back and into the safe region of the tower. Miposhka still eyes on him. But not really anything to follow through there, especially with Spartan hanging around him. Yeah, Miposhka, he's got to be careful how cheeky he is because there is a dust on the Earth Spirit if Spartan sees it opening.
And Spartan always is finding his openings, isn't he? Just manages to find like a Tokyo Drift, then hits a hero from max range with the rolling boulder, and just manages to get a kill. So first night, Ad Finem looking to get active here.
Miposhka, getting this all out though. Empire will know what's up. They're going to know exactly what's going on here.
Oh, they even scouted the ward placement. That's huge. Courier's gonna go back. Oh, what a dust.
Oh, indeed, and with the kickback, they should be able to get the Void off, and indeed, the question is they can't quite kill him. They do have to back off that. Skylark kind of still toying with the idea of coming back in during this this nighttime phase. There's going to be a TP in from Afterlife though, and Spartan, he's out of mana. 20 short, being able to roll himself out. The arrow comes through. Oh, I see the catch on him, Miposhka. They'll turn around with the Void. The Starstorm as well. They'll find 1 kill. Thug now on a killing spree on his Mirana. Now they'll look to see if they can find more Skylark. He's still got a fair bit of mana to play with. Here, Empire, they're trying to chase down Spartan. Flamebreak's going to come through. The glimpse will be down to Thug to take him away from Afterlife. Scandal still going in on the Spartan kill. He's got 5 stacks of napalm, but he will be able to punish it. But nonetheless, I mean, Thug, he did find himself that 3rd kill and keeps himself alive here.
Yeah, I mean, we can go back a little bit and talk about the ward placement and sending the courier back, and just the awareness that you need to have to realize that there is somebody, like, The only reason he does it there is because he saw the courier go back. And when you see the courier go back, there's only one person on the team who can actually see you there. This bottom lane looks like Ramsey's experiencing some difficulties.
Yeah, it's got like a Spartan. They move back from that mid lane advance, and yeah, just coming straight back in.
That's a 4-man gank at 6 minutes. That's gotta feel pretty bad.
That Sentry as well. I think, yeah, just caught Maposhka on the edge of it. But Spartan, he's out of dust. Nah, he's trying to bait this one. Yeah, come and get me, Maposhka. Ooh, I can see you, my friend, and straight back in. Oh no, he kicked him out of range. Oh no, Spartan. A rare mistake there from the man. Oh,
that was unfortunate.
To say the least. And now Maposhka's going to try and go back in. Madara. He's ended up down. He's now out of mana, rolling back in. They're looking for the kill onto Maposhka. They will find it. Nice 3-man stun. I mean, that Shadow will allow Finem to get themselves out. So they do end up killing the bounty, but just been a bit of a messy affair down there on the bottom lane.
Just a very fast-paced early game. Kind of expected though. Both team lineups, I think, are a little bit more aggressively postured than they were in game number 2, where we saw a lot more like late game, mid game potential. Okay, Spartan.
Spartan, bottom lane. Bam! Thunderstrike catches him out, and bit of an uncharacteristic one from them there. I mean, getting caught out by the Medusa and the Disruptor, just I guess underestimating their control and the damage output they have at this point of the game.
Yeah, Mystic Snake is no joke. If you've never played against Medusa before, since they buffed that ability, it hurts a lot. It's like every single bounce that you get is 35% increased damage. It's completely insane.
Spartan's actually going to come back down. He really wants to continue to toy with this Medusa. And as well, Ramsey's feeling confident enough, so 4 points in the Mystic Snake, 3 in the Shield, so none in the Stone Gaze at this point.
I mean, I think it's one of those investments that you make when you really want to be fighting.
Half of Skylight's help. Bam.
Yeah. Oh, top lane.
For Afterlife, and well, they're going to get it. One more touch. In fact, the TP was cancelled there. It's like, right, you're dead, mate. No chance of a saviour coming in for the man on the Prophet. But a 6 for 3 at the moment. Finem still with a slightly better start here. Bottom lane though, going in on Ramsey. Finem looking to take down another. He's out of mana, out of shield, and with the Starstorm coming down hard, they're going to find themselves another here. One more touch from Skylark will do it. Finem, 7 for 3, 8 minutes in. As you said, the pace is quick, the pace is fast, and it's certainly favouring the boys on the Dire.
They just wanted to try to do a lot during the first night phase. Looks like Wave's pushing on top, but Pushka should be able to soak a decent amount of EXP from this. I think that with the Afterlife, Nature's Prophet being able to jungle, the next priority list for Empire, just making sure they can get the Bounty and the Disruptor to 6, that's going to be really key. Like, King R is soaking one lane and Mapochka is soaking the other, so they realize the importance of getting the track up and ready before the next night phase rolls around. Because I'd say, all things considered, oh, middle lane.
Indeed, straight in with the lasso, dragging Thug back, but Thug, he's going to be able to live through the initial advance. Can he get himself out? He's got 1 charge on cooldown, the tick from the Thunderstrike will do it. And they'll catch themselves out of the Mirana there. So nice first use there of the lasso to do so. And a nice bit of money there going as well to the Disruptor, ending that early streak that Thug was starting to get going on his Mirana.
And that was 600 gold for a kill at 9 minutes into the game. Like, that is actually insane how much that gave away. So yeah, really big pickup there from Empire. And they always do have that Bounty Hunter to fall back on during the mid game once he gets off the ground. But still at Finem with a slight lead here. Just waiting to see what the next move is from them. I'm guessing they're just waiting it out. You know,
yeah.
On paper, Night Stalker is like really good against Bounty Hunter as well, because you like pop the ulti, and then you just go around with Dust. Whenever he's in a team fight, you can just chase him down. Like, having track speed doesn't matter, because Hunter in the night makes you pretty much just as fast, if not faster than him. And then you just have a really low mana cost, high damage nuke that he can't really deal with. So I think that at Finem, they have the tools to snowball this game.
Bottom lane, I'm at T. Forcing back, Ramsey's on his Medusa. King R is there behind him though, and he's got level 6 as well. So maybe kind of hoping that the side of Finem will try and initiate on the Medusa. They do have a chance of turning it around there. Thug, 300 gold away from picking up that Midas. So he's a bit of a vulnerable part. We'll see if Empire are able to kill him here on this gold advance. Bottom lane, TPs are coming through, so at Finem they are going to try and fight this. They've got the Chronosphere up, but as we said, Disruptor's being patient here. He really is. King R's just holding on the sidelines. He knows that this kind of play is going to come out. and he may just be enough to counter it. They'll use the scanner out for them. They know there's action in the sideline, but they're going to go in under this. Oh no, the Chronosphere is with the static storm as well. Will be enough for Kion to hold out Finem back. Spartan still tries to continue to roll over. Now, look at the King, he misses the boulder smash. The snake comes bouncing back through. Moonlight Shadow from the side of Finem. They're falling incredibly low here. They do find Disruptor though. Afterlife's coming with the TP. Scandal's now turned up as well. MNT is Spartan hiding in the sidelines. Doug looking in for the 3-man start. He's going to get it. The smash coming through. Is going to connect. Scandal looking for the lasso. Will get it, but he goes down himself. So they'll now find Ramses by the looks of it as well, trying to close, and he pops the 1 charges. It's going to be enough to keep him alive. Rolling for Spartan. They're looking for Afterlife. They get down the void slow. He's got the sprout up. Anything to break through. Yes, Skylark chopped through the trees. They'll take themselves down at 3rd. They do lose Spartan on the Earth Spirit. And I don't know if it's the team's getting tired, but Finem with a bit of a whiff of a chrono, and Spartan just missing a few too many of his spells there on the Earth Spirit. They are lucky that they do still end up coming out on top though.
God, that I think sloppy is an accurate word for that team fight for sure. I mean, I can kind of understand why King R threw the ulti down that way. It didn't actually necessarily need to land. It was more just preventing the rest of Finem from running towards the Dusa and just getting the kill. And in that sense, he actually did what he was supposed to do. But, you know, Madara's Chronosphere, a little bit off the mark. Maybe he was trying to zone out a little bit too much instead of just going for, you know, clicking it on the hero.
Oh, look at that. Mystic Snake ripping through Spartan. He gets glimpsed back as well. They'll find that. Madara coming in. Eyes onto Ramses. First hit bash, but there's 4 heroes here on the moment on the side of Empire. They'll sprout him up. Buys his way through with the Quelling Blade. We'll see if they can chase down. Leap forward from Thug. Look for an arrow. The tracks are coming out, and Miposhka on the sidelines. They've got dust. He has been dusted. And we have to chase him down though. King are still there. And they'll be fine. But again, I mean, it's a slight edge for Finem. 12 minutes in, this certainly could be a start of another game where we see both teams just at it back and forth, and some really very close and tense engagements.
Well, Finem need to make sure they don't get too overzealous and dive. We've seen it happen before in the past. They make like one move, especially against a team with a bounty hunter, that can really cost them a lot. And after watching, you know, Spartan in the last engagement, he didn't really land his spells in the proper manner. That kind of stuff can really hurt you at this stage in the game. Because, you know, maybe Finem walk away with a couple of important kills, but they gave the bounty hunter 6. He's almost level 7 now, because Spartan died like behind the tier 1 tower to him to a Shuri toss. So everything the Empire need is kind of ready to go. Oh, courier snipe actually.
Oh, I. Alright. And that did have, well, the drum recipe.
Yeah, a decent amount of money.
Yeah. Well, bottom lane, Ramsey, he came in fairly deep. He does still have a stone gaze. We get the chance to get it out, he does, and that will just about save his life. In fact, turning around here, Moonlight Shadow from the boys and Finem, they'll be fine. They're going to still look to try and chase it down. King R is there, pops down a sentry. Gonna see Spartan and Thug. They'll start to get one of the tracks out. Harrow's gonna be whipped. The Void and Silence from King R jumping in with the Starstorm, looking to burst down the Disruptor. Can't quite do it. Look at the Shuriken bounces here. Coming in, Madara gets on the Chrono. Looks like he's been glimpsed back into the Chronosphere here. The burst the Slivos, not quite enough to bring down Thug. They'll lose 2 on Empire now. Finem. They can move forward for more. They'll lose Moran on the sidelines. Afterlife going for the TP out. Anything to cancel it. They've got the Void just in time. He even just dropped the Winter's Curse to make sure this Prophet does not escape. And they will find themselves at 3rd here, so we get another trade at Finem, 3 for 1, coming out on top.
Man, these fights are like so scrappy. It's just everyone's in the same place at the same time. Scandal had just purchased his Blink Dagger right there. Unfortunately, he didn't really get to use the lasso, because I think Ramses is already way too far gone to be able to save in that situation, so I kind of agree with, you know, him trying to get himself out of there. But Spartan, you gotta start landing some spells, bud. Because we've seen a lot of kicks that have been way off the mark.
We really have. He's got to be careful. We need that. Well, Finem needs him to perform. We need him to perform for good game Madara. Well, this is nice. Catching out Miposhka, good silence as well. Stopping Scandal from getting a lasso off. In we go as well. Madara jumps forward. Actually now being pushed back into the pit. Spartan track back, and they've taken him down. That's a track gold kill. Now MNT here as well. This could be a second one, and it will be. Don't quite get the ability to get the trap back off, but nonetheless, Empire finding themselves a clean 2 kills. Finem without any kind of response. And again, back and forth. It certainly is the way that this game is panning out to be at this point.
Yeah, and those track kills just give you so much. Bounty Hunter just gets 450 gold from those kills. And interestingly enough, Apushka actually placed wards into the sentry, which means that that bottom ward that was just placed is just going to get instantly dewarded by Ad Finem. So I'm not really sure what the point of that was, but yeah, interesting stuff coming in here. See what Madara goes for his next item. I think Math the Diffusal is like crazy good this game because you're against Medusa. Kind of like double dips on the damage that you do.
Oh, Thug into the storm. See if he's going to be able to weather it. It's not the case. He's gone.
Yeah.
Nice pick off from Empire. They're seeing an opening and they take it. Midas now done for Afterlife.
You know, Skylark has been quietly kind of getting his farm on. You know, he's almost got a full Aghanims at 16 minutes. It's going to be very helpful for him during the mid game when, you know, you have to worry about that Batrider initiation. You're just always going to be able to see it coming. He gets a gem on top of that. It becomes really difficult for Empire to take fights on their own terms.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Ramses,
Middle tower
as you said, you're just working on that. Yeah, so Blink Dagger now picked up by the Void as well. This is going to be pretty crucial in these defenses. If he can land these multi-hero Chronos, it's going to be very, very hard for Empire to achieve much at the moment. They've got the split push going on, Afterlife on his Nature's Prophet, just working on getting the pressure around on the top lane. Rest of the four of the side of Empire are all around towards the mid. Hurrying out back up, so yeah, he picks up the completed drums on the Nature's Prophet. Top of his phase and Midas. We'll see what the next bit of play is at the moment. Madara still kind of playing around on this bottom lane, trying to find what he's level 11 now as well on the Faceless Void. Of course, both teams just at the moment it doesn't feel like there's any rush for them to find a fight. They're both comfortable in just continuing to farm, playing for the long game. Apushka starting to make a kind of a deep movement here onto the side of Ad Finem's map. It's not going to be able to scout anyone, and looks like we're just kind of settling down into a bit of a passive phase of this game after a very hectic early game.
Yeah, I think both teams are just like, alright, let's pump the brakes for a minute, assess what we need to do with our lineups. I think right now the goal for Ad Finem, I mean, obviously getting the Aghanims and the Night Stalker is going to be huge. Wait for the next nighttime, because that is going to be a really strong power curve for them. They have the Aghanims done now. You know, the Night Stalker just hits level 10. You got the Darkness. You can go for fights because you also have Blink on Madara, so, you know, next couple of minutes I would expect them to try to go for something. They can even go now if they want, just because they can utilize the Darkness being in 50
nice
seconds.
smile cut from Empire. Straight onto Spartan with the lasso. The Corn Embrace, it's going to protect him a little bit, but he still goes down. They drop the Static Storm as well, just no messing. No chance for the Samantha could disappear. There we go, track into Glimpse. MNT's brought back, he'll drop the Winter's Curse, isn't enough to save him. And Empire off the back of a very nice smoke. Getting themselves to. And Ramsey's now sitting on 2.4k gold on top of the phase Yasha. Very nice pick. Kind of just before that timing you set up for him, we're going to look for. They want to wait for night time, but Empire, they'll fight any time of the day or night. And we see them just take that play and look for the advantage there themselves.
Yeah, ideally for Empire to actually fight during the day, but
yeah.
You know, if Skylark feels so inclined, he can just pop the ulti at any point just to restrict vision a little bit. Well, I say a little, but it's actually insane, like how much of a difference it makes when the ulti's active. You pretty much can't see jack when that thing's on. It's really, really hard to play into. And that's why we obviously saw the prioritization of banning it out last game when they had Bounty Hunter. But yeah, it's still kind of scary for both teams, because it's only going to take 1 or 2 fights to really burst the game open. Because with the Vlads, you know, Ad Finem can take Roshan with the Void, they can tank it up pretty easily. Empire, they can do it. We're just having a Medusa, just stand there and tank it up. You got some Treants as well, so it's pretty safe from both sides. Just not necessarily the fastest killing speed. You're going to need to get some objectives. If you're Ad Finem first, killing the mid-tier 1. Whereas Empire, all they need to do is just win a fight.
And Empire, they're going to look for a fight again now. The Darkness wearing off. They'll look to use this daytime. Jump in for some of the action. Eyes on the mid lane. See who's going to come forward. Let's see what they can find. Ramsey's revealing himself here. Maybe trying to pull some action out of Ad Finem. Looking for a bit of a bait. Ad Finem themselves, though, I think they're kind of aware of what's going on. They back up to the high ground. They're actually gonna go for a Moonlight Shadow themselves, and we'll see if this catches Empire off guard. They've already popped down the sentry mid, and I think Ad Finem are aware of that. They're gonna look to move elsewhere, wrapping around towards the bottom. And Roshan is back up as well, so it'll be interesting to see which team tries to contest that.
I think at night, it's incredibly hard for Empire to contest the pit, just because you have such a huge radius of vision that's given to you, that I think that Finem might feel confident enough to either go like, I guess they're just gonna try for a dive right now.
Radiant's
You can
middle
see Empire
tower is under attack.
slowly backing behind the tier 2
Radiant
Madara.
structures are fortified.
Trying to finish off this tier 1. I mean, he would really love the side of Empire to try and jump in on him. Try and look for that bait. Time walks off some of the damage here from Nature's Wrath. Possibly just getting the vision out. Oh, it's an illusion. They've actually rolled into here. Spartan, he's been rumbled, and now Ramsey's moving in with the stone gaze. Trap coming out. The stone will hold him back, but Spartan, he's trapped himself up here in the static storm. Chronicles out from Madara. Actually, keeps Spartan stuck here on the sidelines. Spartan's still living through this initial attack. In fact, and Meposhka, can he get himself out? Madara, time walking forward, looking to finish off the bounty. He'll still get it though, regardless of the Sprout. On the back lines, though, Empire, they've already picked off 2, and now with the last on to Skylark, they're looking for a third one. Cold Embrace from MNT is not going to save this man, though, as Empire surrounded the arrow. Actually, Doug's turned up. Doug might be able to turn this. He finds himself a second in return. They're going to lose a fourth, though, and Empire, they will hold a very, very good defense here off the back of an Finem smoke that was incredibly aggressive. We saw them position themselves. A little bit of an unfortunate initiation as they go in straight away with the roll onto what was a Batrider illusion. And just off the back of that as well, the Chrono kind of comes out. It kind of trapped the Earthspit in an awkward position. And 4 for 2 trade. The trade is there, and bounty. The money's going to be more than there for the,
well,
for the side of Empire.
He was dead, to be fair.
Oh, okay.
So he didn't really get that many tracks off during the fight. I think maybe 1 if they were lucky, honestly, because Madara committed hard for that bounty kill. Like, he dove into the tier 2 tower to make sure the Meposhka was dead, but...
Nah, it is potentially some bounty gold.
Yeah.
3 stacks of napalm on the boy. And that certainly will put you some money in the bank. Certainly will indeed. Afterlife actually coming in as well. Just seeing if they can find themselves some more, but Finem, Moonlight shouted up and backing themselves out of here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, Empire seemingly getting the better exchanges here during the early mid-game. Finem wanting something to say about that, though. They have the gem now, too, so they can just go for the dewarding mission, which I think is probably the right play. Against Batrider and Furion, if you can restrict the vision control, they feel less content, like split pushing. It's a lot harder to initiate as well. But man, this game is getting very out of hand, I think. Like, already Mjolnir done on the Nature's Prophet. We've seen how much damage this hero can do during fights if left alone.
I've got the eyes on Afterlife here. Cliff jungling can kill you. It really can. Actually, might kill Spartan. I might like a couple more plays. Oh! Okay,
he's not
Cliff,
even gonna die.
Cliff jungling OP. Everybody, start Cliff jungling in your pubs. Please
don't say
actually,
that, Owen,
please.
please.
Nah, sorry.
Please
Sorry,
don't.
Please,
Just don't do that.
Just don't.
I mean, if you're
Unless you're a professional.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason Cliff jungling is okay is because no one else on his team can actually kill Ancients that reliably except for the Dusa. And the Dusa has better things to do than kill a single stack of Ancients. So it's just trying to be efficient, Owen. It's not just Cliff jungling for the sake of Cliff jungling.
Oh, whatever it is, it's some good stuff. It is some good stuff indeed. That's an interesting Sprout, but nonetheless, they'll move in.
Yeah. Okay, Mirana, popping the
ulti. Moonlight boys, they've got the sentry out though. Empire, they are prepared for this. The arrow's going to catch out Ramses. We'll see if Finem can do anything. They'll jump for Madara, gets the Chrono onto 3 on the back line. Huge Chrono here, but Ramses still gets off the stone gate. Now starts to chunk through them here. Lasso onto Madara. Spartan tries to want to magnetize the way the static storm is there. And Finem just crumbling here to the power of Empire. 2 have fallen. They'll glimpse back Doug. He's stuck up as well. The right clicks come through. They'll lose a third on Finem. They may just lose a fourth. MNT tries for the TP out. The Shuriken's there. They're going to find 4 heroes. They lose 1. Only the Scandal Batrider. They head back into the pit. And Empire really, really bringing the A game here. It's a nice gold game there off the back of that one. They're now on a 10k net worth lead. It's going to be more after they take down Roshan, and we can see just the power of Afterlife and Ramses sitting on a very comfortable amount of gold here on these 2 cores.
I don't really... Alright, so on paper, you could look at Fnem's lineup and say that they might have a little bit of late game potential with the Void and whatnot, but if you look at the way they're itemizing, he's not itemizing for the late game. He's itemizing as if he were like the Impact Void, where you want to try to fight, and the rest of the team is also not really that farm oriented. Like, sure, your Mirana has Aghanims and whatever, and that's fine, but against the late game Dusa with a Furion, you're just not really going to have the damage. So with the way they've itemized and the fights that have gone so far south for them, Empire have a substantial lead. Like, it's obviously reflected in the golden experience, but also because of their lineup and what it's capable of doing.
On bottom lane, Thug just leaping away from Ramses, and
Dire's bottom tower is under
it's getting scary and scary. There's actually going to be a Yules picked up here by Disruptor. Not something that we see all the time, but something that of course is going to be nice against this lineup, especially, you know, with these silences coming out from the Night Stalker and Earth Spirit, just catching out the Disrupt on the back lines, and King R needs to get his spells out, because we're seeing there how huge a good Static Storm could be. It really can secure the team fight for Empire.
Dire's bottom
Yep.
tower
It's just a
has
nifty
fallen.
way of dispelling yourself. It's pretty
Yeah.
cheap. Cheaper than Lotus Orb. A Force Staff is okay, but doesn't really let you get the spells off.
They'll get the boulder smash out, but oh, look at Scandal just jumping in, ripping Spartan away from the silence. Ramses, he's got the Stone Gate. Spartan has been caught in brace, but the Nature's Wrath bursts through, bringing down the Earth Spirit, and now with the fortification, Outfitting, they're going to try and hold this, but Empire, they're looking very, very strong at this point of the game. Just 26 minutes in, Ramsey's now knocking on the tier 3s, their Moonlight scattered up, trying to get themselves in position to fight. Thug closing in nice and close. There's the Starstorm, now jumping forward. Madara, look, goes for it again, catches people up on the backlines, but it's only going to be the Bat Rider here. Ramsey's still alive through this one. Madara getting taken down by the looks of it. The Starstorm coming through. Madara is going to be picked off by Afterlife. Scandal gets himself onto the backlines, and Afterlife blinks in, chasing down Thug, trying to run, trying to hide, but Empire again, just forcing, splitting Ad Finem apart. They'll find themselves the Night Stalker as well as the Mirana on top of the Void, and now the buybacks come out. So it's just Void getting himself back in with his curse onto Imposhka, but already with the Magnetize, it's doing a lot of him. Imposhka's already gone down. Ramsey's still frontlining this one, just sitting there. The Mystic Snake bursting through them. They just can't kill this Medusa at this point of the game. Maybe with Skylight turning up, they can as well. The bashes from Madara are real. Afterlife and King are still playing around on the high ground. There's your Yules holding back the Night Stalker. They really want to try and finish this, but the kinetic field, the control from King R's there, and on the back lines, you're losing your Winter Wyvern. Ramses finds the shots down, and now he moves in for more. Madara's trying to get the King up, but the bounces. The Mystic Snake, he's going to be able to find the Void with the Thunder Strike. Skylight's got to get himself away. It's a 3-for-3 trade at the moment. Ramses chasing this down here with the Skadi touches, but the creeps blocking him up at the moment. It looks like Skylight will be saved. No, Afterlife TP's in. He's got a spray as well. Blinks forward. There's the Miona Puck. He'll pick up the gem. Picking up the bounty there, and this could be an opening, because that, of course, was a dieback on the face of this Void. You've got your two heavy pushers still alive here. Afterlife and Ramsey's on the front line. They'll head up into the base, and they'll look to start to take down the Rex on the bottom lane of Finem, who have only got 2 heroes up to defend. And another incredible fight for Empire, and Ramsey's Medusa is absolutely destroying them here.
I mean, there's so much synergy in their lineup. You have Glimpse Vision with the track, same thing for the Bat Rider, it can help set up for the ganks. Fury and TP Zen adds to every single engagement that you go for. You know, Empire just seems to be like a well-oiled machine in this game number 3. And Ad Finem, even going back to the one engagement they made outside of the tier 2 tower on Empire's side of the map, they knew they had to play aggressive, because their lineup and the way that they've itemized is totally mid-game centric. Like, okay, maybe you can argue that the Mirana can farm a little bit, but you don't really want to go late game against Medusa with your heroes, especially when your Void has gone in for like the Vlads into Blink Dagger build.
Scandal.
Yeah. It's a sad Earth Spirit right there.
Madara, he's looking for a corner, but again, the Yules King has got a Static Storm. Madara goes straight back down into it, and here we go. Ramses with the Stone Gate, making sure there's no help from the side. They're going to take the ball down again. It's easy, well played, it's called. They'll tap out here, and Empire now 1 game away from moving forward to the Manila Major. I mean, I like this, you know, in the best of 5, Ad Finem, they realised at that point the game's going to be very, very hard to deal with. They'd rather just tap out, clean the slate, move on to the next. It was a 25k net worth lead at that point in the game from Empire. So they just try and, they don't want to frustrate themselves fighting, you know, battling against the wind. They'll look for a clean entry into game 4 now. But here we have it now, 2-1 up the side of Team Empire. What this series is really panning out to be some of the best Dota we've seen in